Hey guys, what's up? This is GundamLegacyExtreme, and I'm here today to, well, finally, review S.H.Figuarts Futari wa Precure Cure White from the series Futari wa Precure. Now, she is, like my previous Precure review, the second of the first two Precure. And who am I loving this figure. Now, I do have some issues that I will be getting into. And unfortunately, while I do love how this figure looks, that's about as far as I'm going with it. She has some issues worse than black. That, again, as I just stated, I will get into in a moment. But before I get into the figure, let me get into the packaging, and if I can find it, I know it's in this drawer, one of these drawers I have. Well, basically it's the same as Cure Blacks, and sorry about that pause, I couldn't find the box. But it's similar to Cure Blacks, except it's white and blue rather than black and pink, because black and pink is Cure Blacks, while white and blue is Cure White's color theme. But it's a really nice design. I like it. You have a picture of the figure right here, her pose right here, and it says right here, Precure action figure. It is not a doll, so don't mistake that, people. On this side, again, you have her in another pose, and then on the back, you have her in the two poses, but the actual figure, which is her post-transformation pose and her roll call pose, as well as her together with Black in their post-transformation pose. And a little picture of the base right here. I do not have the base assembled, so I cannot show you, but it pretty much just looks like that. It's pretty much the same base all Precure come with, except unlike all the others, they don't have their names on it. For a reason that I will get into in a future review. Bringing the figure back. As I've stated, detail-wise, this figure looks phenomenal. And excuse me one second. There we go. Detail-wise, this figure looks phenomenal. It looks basically like I'm holding a little version of her anime counterpart. It looks just like the anime character was taken out of the screen and put into the palm of my hand. You know, with joints everywhere, of course. But starting from the head. Her hair is sculpted very nicely, and the ribbon on her head, it's painted perfectly. I have no complaints at all. No paint smudges, no blotches, a little bit of a messy job, but it's not all that bad. Her earrings are painted properly and perfectly. She has a lot of character in her face. It looks beautiful. Going down, I do think though that they overdid it on the blue shading, especially on the cufflinks. I mean the cufflinks, the arm warmers. Down to the skirt, very nicely made out of soft PVC. The rest of this is made out of ABS, except for these little strands of hair as well. Down here, and hide her panties. The figure's just really, really nice. Poseability wise, and this is where I get into my issues. Her head can go up about that far, down about that far. Her neck is double jointed, though don't try and expect to get much out of it, because it just, her collar is not made for it for some reason. It doesn't really move all that well, even though it's supposed to. It's not, my blacks moves better. Her hair is on a ball joint, moves around perfectly. And just so that you don't have to worry about, you pull this hair up and all of a sudden you see the joint, they molded in some hair into the back. Hang on one second. Oh, that's what happened. Sorry, my camera just got darker all of a sudden. It wasn't plugged in. Anyway, Just like Black, she has a joint that moves her arm forward to get a little bit of better poseability, though it doesn't work as well as Black's, I find. It just doesn't show up as good. And now here's where we get to gripe number 1. Remember how I talked about how Black's shoulder pads constantly kept falling off? White's, they don't fall up as much, but unlike Black's, which was not as limiting, White's is majorly limiting. It'll only allow you to go forward. And unlike Black's, which at least keeps the feel of the suit, White's, once you bring her arm back down, it doesn't work as well. It just doesn't work. They could have done a better job personally. They could have done what Black done, like what they did with Black, and put the ball joint up top. I don't know why they had to put the ball joint in the back. But again, it's not as bad as Black's where it falls off, so I'm not complaining as badly. Unless, of course, you push it off. Anywho's, her arm can bend about 145, I guess. Wrist rotate. Wiggle a little bit, go forwards and back, or you can have it go up and down. Her legs can go forwards about that far, back about that far, out about that far, knees bend. And unlike my Blacks, which they were tight, White's feet are very loose, and her toe can bend forwards and down, but that looks uncomfortable. And her toes can tilt side to side for better poseability, since her leg warmers prevent her feet from tilting side to side that much. Oh, she's a pretty good figure. Oh yeah, I forgot. These strands of hair are also on ball joints. Yeah, it's a pretty good figure. There are some little nitpicky complaints I have, but overall it's nice. As for her accessories, well, seeing as they were the first Precure, they don't have that many accessories in the way of weapons, because they did all their attacks via magic. And yeah, just like her other counterpart, she has trouble standing. So her accessory count is basically just hands and faces. She comes with the closed fists that she's packaged with, a pointing hand, just like Black's, so she can point at the enemies and tell them, I believe it was denizens of darkness, those who, I think it was like either denizens of darkness who dare threaten the earth, or those who threaten the earth, something along those lines. And then she comes with a close together fingers hand and a splayed open fingers hand. This is for 2 reasons: one for her pose, and for something else. Now, onto faces. She comes with the stoic closed mouth expression, already attached out of package. She comes with a happy smiling face and a battle ready face, or a yelling attack face. Now these 2 accessories right here come in handy with if you have the Cure Black figure, and as you know I do. So let me get ready. Cure Black is already right here, ready, with an accessory she came with exclusively, which is the held together hand of hers and White. Now, I said in my previous review that this hand served a purpose, I believe anyway. Well, now you're going to get to see the purpose. For this, you have to detach that hand, well, detach both, to be exact, and put on this hand. Position it so it's pointing forward, like this. And while you're doing that, remove her hair, and yes, just like most anime figure arts, it's a pain in the butt to do this part. Remove the face, put on her battle ready face, and put the hair in. Turn her head this way, bring her arm back. And now you attach it onto here, which is, again, the tricky part. Because that tends to happen a lot. I don't know what it is, but this Cure White hand is not molded right. Now you have to get the cuffling back for Cure Black. And you link them back together, like so. Get Cure White into position on the base. Put her hand forward, and there you have it. You have black and white working together to fire off their finishing move, the Precure Marble Screw. Which, once fired, will destroy pretty much any, Zakenna. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can go over with this figure. All in all, this is a really good figure, but it's not a good standalone. Really, these two complement each other. You can't have one without the other. Or unless, of course, you only like one character. Me, I like both Nagisa and Honoka. They were two really good characters. I liked Honoka a bit more, but when I got the two figures, Cure Black and Cure White, I got them separately, unfortunately, because I got her when I had the money. I had the money for both, but at the time, she was out of stock at Ami. She was in stock. So when I went, later on, when I managed to get her on sale at HLJ, I was happy to finally complete my set. So all in all, good addition to the Figuarts Precure line. If you want them, go pick them up. You will not be disappointed. So yep, that's about it. That's all I can go over. That's all I can say. Now it's time to go max heart.